All right, everybody, welcome to episode number 11, lucky number 11, here today on the Subscription Podcast. I'm Paul Chambers.
And I'm Chris George.
Just in case you forget what our names are. And this is the podcast where we talk everything subscription. And I'm excited for episode number 11 today. Are you excited, Chris?
I don't know what's on the docket.
Oh, so let me ask you this. What do NBA, Meta, Intuit, I'm going to throw you for a wrench there.
Okay.
And, oh my gosh, I had a whole nice little, well, now it doesn't sound as cool. I did totally ruin it. Dang it. Oh, and Starbucks all have in common.
What do they all have in common?
We're going to talk about it on today's podcast.
It's not consumer subscription. Is that
no, there is. So okay, so let's start. I'm gonna start on
you
a
like stole one of my
note.
own plays from me and like used the wrong companies.
I'm gonna start on a positive note on Intuit here because I'm impressed with something they did recently.
So you guys better mark this day.
So I'm watching my son play Roblox, which has a subscription component built into it. It's kind of fun. If you saw my short where I interviewed my boys and asked them if they would do Roblox Premium, and I haven't signed up for it yet. But anyway, so Parker's playing in Roblox and he's at this like NFL stadium experience where he's like gets to build his team in the stadium and everything. And I see like Intuit on the bleachers and it's Intuit Stadium. I'm like, man, that's a heck of a branding play.
Yeah.
Like getting these kids' heads early. And then I'm watching him and he's like, yeah, Dad, I go over here and I get all my money. And he walks up to this computer and it's got the Intuit logo on there. He's like, this is where I get my money from. And then later he's telling me, he said something along the lines of like, yeah, I go to get my tax refund at that computer.
Yeah, they're teaching him young.
Angie, who whatever her name is, helps me with my tax refund in the game.
They're teaching him financial literacy. It's great.
Yeah.
I like it.
And what a great branding
now don't complain about when they raise your prices.
No, well, I know.
They're teaching your children young.
They have to pay for the sponsorship on that, but what a great branding play, right? Yeah. Like getting in their minds early.
It's actually really smart.
Teaching financial literacy. So today we like Intuit.
I always did.
Well, you were kind of on my side a little bit of like the whole like MailChimp thing and things were going down there.
Not really.
Andy, write that check every month to QuickBooks.
I don't pay attention. I just write.
You don't pay attention until I rant about it?
Yes.
Is that you just wait for it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Till you tell us we're out of money and I'm like, oh, well.
So it's interesting because I think there's a whole bunch of like interesting branding plays out there that can happen. And, you know, we've talked about in the past the metaverse and it's gotten quiet this year in the last year as like things slowed down for a minute with NFTs and Web 3.0, but it's going to be coming back. Good branding opportunities. So that's a good,
I like that. Good
point. Look for some branding opportunities. So Starbucks, I want to jump in there for a second. Starbucks, I read a chart about them recently, 30 million rewards users.
Okay.
And what's interesting, and this is going to loop back into my kids now, my daughters are 12. They got their first iPhones recently. They have the Starbucks app on there because my wife has brainwashed them to like Starbucks. And they will go for the stars. This is a massive membership program. Okay. And even though it's not something you're paying into, we talk about subscription.
They get more stars the more they buy. And they want the stars.
And Starbucks is also a massive, they don't need funding for things they're building because they're holding on to our money, right? They built a massive membership program. I feel like they snuck it in. It's really interesting in there.
Okay.
But, you know, we don't talk enough about rewards programs and the opportunity for stuff like that.
It's interesting because like loyalty and rewards were almost replaced by subscription, right?
Yeah.
There's still forms of it, but before subscription, loyalty and rewards programs are a way to get you to go back to the same place, and subscriptions get you to go back to the same place.
It's kind of like Jay Meyer's talk at SubSummit, right? The subscription death curve. We talked about referrals. Like, it's referrals, but there's rewards built into that. Like in order for referrals, you have to reward people. Like, do you think you can connect those programs somehow? Do you think there's opportunities?
Rewards?
Yeah,
they do, because they'll say like refer somebody and you get a discount. You get a $5 off, or you get $20, or you get more stars.
Yeah. Do you see anybody doing anything that really well out there right now?
On referral side?
Yeah. Or that rewards program. Like Starbucks is just, I feel like Starbucks is crushing it only based on like personal experience. Right?
I would be very, very surprised around the data around how many people continue to buy at Starbucks because of the reward program.
So pre-pandemic, they were almost at 20 million users in their rewards program. They dropped, I don't know how they dropped because nobody really I think just daily usage of it.
Yeah.
So in that time, in the span of they launched this in 2016, immediately pulled in like 10 million users off the rip, or it looks like around there is where this chart starts tracking it. Oh, that's when the loyalty scheme changed. That's what it was, to reward dollar spent rather than visits. It used to be like a more complex program, and now it's like per dollar spent. And it drives them in.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's some really interesting things from a membership standpoint in there.
I wonder if that's more to enhance the experience for the consumer and less about driving them back. Starbucks drinkers are like diehard Starbucks drinkers.
Yes and no, but like it still drives people back in to the stores.
So I wish we need to find some data around that. I'd be surprised.
When they do some, like, like my personal data is like when every time they'll do a promotion, my wife and kids will come to me and be like, "Oh, it's double star day. We should go in and get a drink today."
Way.
Yes. It's like double star day, or like you can earn extra things in there.
That's insane.
Now, I don't think they lean into the referral stuff enough, because I never hear them say like, "Oh, if I were to tell Layla to get the Starbucks app, we would get 20 stars or something."
They could probably get really creative with that. Like when they do the double star day, say, tell your friend we'll give you an extra star. And you send to your friend that it's double star day.
Ooh.
But then it could get like tricky. You send it to like 5 all your people. And
I wonder if you can share stars. Do you think you can share your stars and your rewards? I think so. There's something important to learn here in terms of what they've been doing with the rewards program and that membership in there. And even though it's not, what we look at in typical subscription where you're paying, I think what I like to talk about a lot is just that improving that relationship with the customer. And they seem to be doing that really well. At least like, man, the fact that they're starting now when these girls are 12 years old and getting them hooked on that's crazy.
It's insane. I love the thing that you said about Intuit too, like getting them young. Like that was even better.
Oh man, my kids are getting brainwashed here every day. But I think, and there's a lot of different ways to look at it and build on it, and just something to consider out there as a brand. Like, how can you build that loyalty and build those rewards? I think the kind of along those lines. But last week, the NBA held their like tech week. Was it the All-Star game? Things about sports, right? So they had the All-Star game.
Slam dunk contest, things like that. Yeah.
And who won the slam dunk contest this year?
This kid, Mac something. He was in the G League. He did some crazy dunk. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
What's the G League mean? What's that?
It's like the league below the NBA. It's like
so they get to participate in the...
Yeah, because like they talked about how the slam dunk contest started like not becoming as popular. There was a lot of like controversy around like LeBron James not participating in it like years ago. Then other people started not participate in it, but they started bringing like the best dunkers. And this one guy, Mac, he did a sick dunk at the end.
Did you see, okay, so this would be fun. Did you see the tech that they rolled out that lets you kind of put your body and face on the players?
And you could you're out there playing.
How
insane
sick would that be to you? Like, you put you and your friends over the team that's playing, like the Pistons that night. Yeah. And you're watching the game.
Each pick a player?
Yeah. You're watching the game. You and your buddies are out there like dunking and running down.
It looked really digitized though, didn't it?
Yeah. I mean, but look, it's the early days of it.
Yeah.
But see, this is where the NBA, the NBA has some challenges with their subscription right now, where you read some negative challenges out there with what they're doing, because they don't make like all the events and all the games available in their subscription, their season pass. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It's got to be licensing, because I think it has to do with TNT or just different licensing issues and challenges. And I think that's the problem the leagues have right now, is they want to strike these multi-billion-dollar deals with Amazon and all these guys, but then
they can't keep it themselves.
They can't keep it all to themselves, and they're running competing subscriptions.
Well, they weren't a station. They weren't one that was projecting the content for the longest time.
They weren't.
Right? There was always on ABC or NBC or on ESPN. Now they have the ability to stream it themselves.
Yeah.
And be like their version of Netflix.
Yeah.
But they've got all these contracts out.
Yeah. I mean, do you like, if you're a league, do you wait for when those licenses expire? Do you say like, hey, sorry, Amazon, we're going to do our own? Do you think they could be as lucrative on their own doing, versus going through an Amazon?
There's too many fans that just want to watch sports.
Yeah, but do you want to have your NBA subscription, your NFL?
No, the consumer might not like it. I don't know.
So this is where there's a case for, they call them super aggregators and bundling and aggregators. Actually, we're talking with John Giegengack at SubSummit about this. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to talk to Evan Shapiro next week. He's a producer of Portlandia and some other great shows, and he's talking about coming on the stage potentially at SubSummit. But they're going to be talking about that because there's a big case for those aggregators. So then you'd have like one sports aggregator, and you could sign up for NBA, NFL.
All of them, yeah.
Would you get MLB?
No.
You don't watch baseball?
I'd only get NFL.
What about NHL?
No,
Why not?
I don't watch it enough.
You don't watch. You go to the games. You have season tickets to the Red Wings.
I go to some games. I like the Red Wings.
Yeah,
and I like watching the NFL. That's it.
So, okay, but like, let's say you had the NFL and you were able to like
add the
NHL for like half the cost or something like that.
For me, sure, that would work on somebody, but not for me. If I want to watch it, I'm signing up.
What if your buddies come over and they're like, "Oh,
yeah, that's happened."
Game. Yeah,
I like sign up for one of these passes just for they watch it, and they never came over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so coming back to the NBA here, how sweet would it be as part of their subscription? You could do that. You could, it would put your buddies in the game. You and your buddies in the game. Like layer in extra tech elements.
I think there's like other things. They need to think about like ways to enhance the experience, or like you can win the chance to go to the All-Star game. Like they can, as part of a member.
The golden ticket type opportunities.
Yeah, like they can enhance experiences for their customers.
Helen did that with her subscription box.
Yep.
Right? She did like win attendance to the show.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We built it. I don't remember.
But do you think enough companies lean into that golden ticket opportunity?
Yeah, I don't know if they lean into it enough. I think the problem sometimes with the golden ticket is it's like one winner. You need to have multiple. It's like, like FanDuel, like for all their $1 million winners has a big event for them. Like that's cool. They're bringing a lot more people together. They're enhancing the experience overall. People talk about it. And I think the NBA could do things like with the streaming service, you get a discount on NBAshop.com where you get like 10% off all jerseys and things like that. That's how you can enhance the experience.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
The NBA is going to be at the conference.
Yeah. Yeah. Satwant from the NBA, head of their subscription team there, he's going to be talking about, we got a whole bunch of stuff to unpack with them, but it's been fun to be having conversations with them and learning kind of some of the things that they're doing. And I tell you, like, I couldn't wrap my head around, we had some light conversation early on about some of the pricing that they have all these countries they roll out in, all these different markets, and you have to think about pricing in all these different areas. I couldn't imagine the spreadsheet that guy has.
Insane.
Can you imagine? Like, and then how do you test those kind of things?
Pricing?
Yeah.
There's some data around demographic, how much they make, earning, things like that. They can like take from this.
Yeah.
No. You test till you get it right. Data trumps everything.
Does it though? Because you rely on your gut a lot.
Yeah, because my gut's so good. But data trumps.
There's no lack of confidence over here in your gut.
You can't live life without confidence.
Tell me a time when you were wrong, when your gut was wrong.
Oh, I'm sure it's happened.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen a lot.
Tell me a time when it was super right.
Oh God, I don't know.
There had to have been some stuff with Gbox back in the day.
Yeah, when we introduced the application apply to be premium.
Yeah. Oh, you called that one.
Yeah.
All right, so tell that story.
So, when we moved to quarterly, the argument was like, should we run them through checkout or should we have them apply to be part of the quarterly subscription? I was like, we should have them apply because the exclusivity, they're going to be committed to the program more. They're going to feel like after they fill out the application, they get approved, that they're going to want to be part of the program. They're more likely to convert versus just like typical marketing behavior was like, get them to the website, get them through checkout, be done. But in subscription, you're trying to build the relationship with the consumer. So you want to walk them through these micro commitments, right? So we started to ask some questions like, how often do you wear a tie? Like, how often do you want to look dapper, right? That made the consumer go through these micro commitments. And if they completed that, then it said they were approved and they had 10 minutes to sign up or they were going to be like, lose their chance of being a premium subscriber.
Yeah.
And made them convert. So like we were all like, most of the team was like, no, like this is going to cause a barrier to converting. I was like, no, this is going to make them want to convert more. And then the data showed us that not only did they be converted at a higher conversion rate, we gathered data on the consumers and we were able to retarget them. So it was an overall win.
So a couple key takeaways in there. One, the micro commitment part of it.
Yep.
You get them in there. And then the countdown timer is super important.
It's all about the psychology of the consumer as they're going through checkout.
Yeah.
Right? And I've been studying a lot of that. And it's like, what are they thinking?
Right.
And understanding what that flow looks like. And when you build a sense of urgency, it makes consumers convert faster. It's just like brands that do like exclusive drops, right? Like when they know that they're going to sell out, they're on there right on time. It's like when you go buy tickets to a concert, like, you have to be on.
Right.
Or you're not getting it.
Yeah. Or if you're lucky, if you're trying to get Taylor Swift. So, and then through that process, through the application process, you collect email addresses as well.
Yes.
And then you had an email funnel built
Yes.
out.
Yes.
So I remember, so let's go back to the time of trusting your gut, because we were having a conversation around this. And what was the original argument in there about what we were trying to do? Was it just to let them, it was to let them buy it straight up,
Just sign up.
or go through that application
Through like
process?
a 7 questionnaire application.
And we A/B tested that at one point,
Yes.
didn't we?
Yes.
And it proved out that
It's better to
the
have
application
an
process
application.
had a higher conversion rate on the backside.
Yep.
Did we ever study what the conversion rate was after, like via email and stuff like
No,
that
but
afterwards?
we knew we were getting more conversions. I don't know if we ever calculated the full conversion rate after that.
Plus, you're building your email list there. What
And
a
you're
way.
learning, if 5,000 people said that they only wear ties 2 times a week,
Yeah.
it might limit how many ties we put in future boxes.
You know what I wish we had done with Gentleman's Box was put an upper limit on the number of subscribers. Because every month we just kept like, oh, we're going to order more, we're going to order more. And rather than just cap it and say it's
we should
closed
have
out.
sold out. We should have sold out.
And we did that when we helped Ellenbox roll out, right? We
got better
capped
at
the
it.
upper limit on it, and then they had a big waiting list.
We were young, ambitious entrepreneurs.
just constantly setting
bar higher.
more big goals there.
Yeah.
But it creates a comfort level when you can limit your upper limit of subscribers, because you know what you're ordering to in there. And then 2, it creates like that FOMO effect, right?
Yeah, you didn't make it, you sold out. You better sign up. Be ready for next month.
Yeah. And it works better for you.
But it's hard with subscriptions, right? You're buying 3-6 months ahead of time. It's so hard.
Yeah. So speaking of buying, and that was a terrible segue, but I liked it. Speaking of buying, are you going to buy the blue check mark when Facebook rolls it out for Instagram?
Probably,
Your
depending on the
Facebook page?
benefits. Yeah.
So they're proposing right now.
It's going to bring down the value of it, but may as well have it.
Why does it bring the value down?
Because anybody could have it then.
But it was rigged anyway in the beginning.
It's
you
not
had to
rigged
pay
now.
off an
I should
internal
have.
employee.
I should have one now, and I don't.
Why?
Because I don't want to spend 15 grand to get it done.
Tell me why you had to spend 15 grand to get it done.
Because they made I don't know the true process.
Who were you spending 15 grand with?
Like a PR agency to write up a bunch of press and then submit it. Yeah,
Like-
but now you don't have to do that.
Why is it diminishing the value of it, like at $11.99 or $14.99? Then, if you're paying for like authenticity for who you are,
How many more people do you
What
think?
is the goal of the blue check mark?
Let me ask you a question.
Huh?
How many more people will pay $15 versus 15 grand?
But what is the goal of the blue check mark?
The goal for me,
You got to start with my question first. What is the goal of the blue check
the
mark?
goal of the blue check mark is to build validation to your account, but also allow you to like message other people and go in their primary inbox.
Show you're a real
right?
person. Why should you have to pay $15,000 for that?
No, you shouldn't.
Okay.
But Instagram made it really hard to get it
Yeah.
without any true process. And now they're just saying, we'll pay, we'll give it to you.
Right. You had to pay before though. You had to pay the
No,
15
but it
grand
wasn't
before.
guaranteed. They would say, like, that's what it roughly was cost when I did some initial lookout.
Yeah.
But it diminishes it because why did people have it? Okay, look, the truth is people had it initially because like it was a status.
The
Right?
status.
It was a status. If you had a blue check mark, you had a higher status.
It's exclusive. You couldn't get it.
Yes. Now anybody can get it. There's no value to that status.
So, okay. So you're looking at it in a different way where the goal originally of the blue check mark before it became corrupt by all the internal employees, like selling them off on the side, the goal of the blue check mark was to verify that somebody's a real account.
Right. But the environment and the world we live in, it's a status thing, having the check mark, nothing else.
To you.
No, to everybody on Instagram. It's a status thing.
But is it though?
Yes.
Because all you're trying to do is make sure that Alec Baldwin, I don't know why I chose Alec Baldwin, but that Alec Baldwin is
but they're not.
real
They
Alec
didn't do
Baldwin.
that. I'm the real Chris George. You're Paul Chambers.
Yeah, I
but
understand.
they weren't doing that. That wasn't the intent of it. It was only for celebrities. And if you go look now when you apply, you have to say like what you are.
Right.
Whether you're like an influencer, whether you're an athlete, whether you're an entrepreneur, you have to click that. If you're just like, I'm just a dude, I want the check mark, they won't give it to you.
Well, nowadays you're saying with the now with the new service.
No, right now without the service. If you want to apply to approval, they you have to be like somebody to them. You got to have some press.
So yeah, and that was in the original part of that was like again like so you knew that Hollywood actor you were talking to was the real Hollywood actor. So now they're trying to expand that and to the everyday person, right? To make sure that everyday person, because it's a challenge, like because there's some like micro influencers that get their accounts spoofed all the time.
Yeah,
and they don't want to. They can't afford to pay 15 grand. Yeah,
mine got spoofed a couple times.
Yeah, and so I think like
I think they'll come out with like a verified gold.
That's a good way to look at it, right? Something a little bit like
that you have to like
point.
not even a higher. No. That you have to apply to get.
Okay. You're saying you like monthly, you wouldn't have to pay for it.
No, or you
like a certain number of followers.
Like you pay for the blue check, but you get a gold check.
It has to have some parameters around it.
I know.
This is the challenge with the way this has been run before. It's too willy-nilly. It's like whoever you can find inside that can get you the check. But like even my Twitter verified one took.
Did it happen?
It did. It took like 5 days.
You got it verified now?
Yep, got it verified.
How do you feel?
I feel good. I feel like I'm somebody now.
You're like the person with the lowest number of followers. That has a blue check mark.
I think I got like 500 followers.
Oh, that's good.
I've been on Twitter since 2006, I want to say.
That's great.
A long time. But not that long. I don't know. But anyway, so
what'd you submit?
What do you mean?
What'd you submit to Twitter?
I just gave them money.
No. Oh, really?
Yeah. You didn't have to submit anything. You just sign up for it.
Then how are they verifying that you're real?
I think for them, it's just going through making sure it's not a bot account. So they must have some parameters that they go through and do that. I don't know what level of human verification is happening on the back side.
If I make a spoof account of Paul Chambers, I make a Paul Chambers, copy everything, and I'm not bot. I'm tweeting.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
And I pay for it. Am I going to get the check?
I would imagine, yeah.
That takes away the whole thing.
I mean,
I'm not really Paul Chambers.
Well, okay. So, I mean, we should try this, right?
This, yes,
we should try it. I mean, I wonder if they go to the credit card data.
Twitter.
Like, if they look at the credit card data and they see, like, okay, Paul Chambers actually signed up for this.
Easy. I'll take a business account, put Paul Chambers.
You could open a credit card in my name.
Yes, easily. Yeah. So I'm gonna actually. We need to record me breaking the Twitter service.
You're convinced it's going to happen. I just said maybe. I'm
actually going to take your exact.
But you have to use your credit card.
No. I'm smart enough to solve this.
No, you can't use a credit card with my name on it.
I'm going to take one of my companies and make you an employee card that says Paul Chambers on it.
That feels like that's going a little far. That's going far.
I'm going to make an Alec Baldwin.
But you have to. Right,
I'm going to make Alec Baldwin.
Maybe we should do that.
Yes.
You could try both.
No, we should record this whole thing. That'll be good content.
Try Alec Baldwin and try Paul Chambers.
No, we're going to pick somebody like famous. I'm going to pick somebody famous and make a Twitter account and be them.
So there's going to be 2 Facebook ones. It looks like $11.99 and $4.99 a month.
What's the difference?
Receive access. I don't know. I didn't dive into that.
When does it launch
yet? Probably coming up this year. They've been talking about it. I mean, look, you have that. Twitter's got Twitter Blue, and then Snapchat. You ever see Snapchat Plus?
Yeah, I heard about it.
$3.99 a month, and you get like different content options and graphics. I don't know. That's like kids paying for that. But you get proactive account monitoring on the Meta verified one, and then you also get a real person. You can get in touch with a real person. Bradley, would you verify yourself? Would you get the blue check?
Probably not, because it doesn't mean much to me. Like first of all, I'm not like super, like I don't have a ton of followers. So if I did, I think that would maybe enhance it. But to me, it doesn't really do much for me. And I think what Chris was saying earlier about it being like meaningful in the sense that like it was proving that it was me, it doesn't really do that anymore because I could just pay for it. So it could be anybody. So I wouldn't personally get it, no.
Yeah, it sounds like it's more for like creators because you get the verified badge, protection from impersonation, help when you need it, increased visibility and reach. So like if you're trying to get out there. So like on Twitter, I did it because I want to pop higher into conversations with people. Yeah. I'm reaching out to speakers. I'm reaching out to subscription companies. So I want to be able to like get up in there in the conversation with them. Yeah. And then you got exclusive features to express yourself in unique ways. Yeah.
I mean, I'll do it.
So Bradley, would you though pay for the higher level Hinge subscription, the $60 a month Hinge subscription for your dating profile?
So I don't know a ton about it. What do I get from doing that?
Well, you get access to
Did you tell Bradley,
more ladies,
who's speaking from Hinge at our conference?
We have the chief product officer from Hinge coming in to speak at SubSummit.
Maybe we can ask her for some more roses.
We could. Do you need roses, Bradley?
Do they give away free roses? Does she have like a card, like a coupon? She probably has
like a coupon code free for like 1,000 free roses.
Unlimited roses.
We should give everybody roses at the conference. As an attendee, you get 10 Hinge roses.
I mean, could be interesting. That's for sure.
Alex is
it would make the conference super awkward.
Cause a lot of problems for the married couples and the couples that are in a relationship.
So they've been testing the pricier $60 a month subscription plan. I was trying to find here. It used to be higher price premium subscription plan at $50 to $60 per month. Yeah, they've got the current one at $35 per month in there, and you get driving. They're saying revenue per payer meaningfully higher. That's what they're trying to get to. That's what it is. They're aiming at the highly motivated daters. It's the guys that are desperate. Bradley's not desperate.
Bradley's a G.
Not yet.
I mean, there's room for that. Like if you're trying to meet people fast, I don't know what the reason would be for that. I don't, get out there more.
You know what I think they should do?
You're not good at finding your person.
Is that if you pay more, you get to put in more details about yourself and you have better search criteria on who you're looking for.
Ah, that's interesting.
Give yourself that advantage. Make sense?
Yeah. I think that, and so you're expanding your profile. You're able to upload more pictures. You're able to have more conversations. Tinder does that, right? Like Tinder, you can swipe faster.
Surprisingly, I never had a Tinder account.
You didn't?
No.
Huh. So you could swipe faster.
Why are you so surprised by that?
What?
That I didn't have one.
Did I act surprised? I shouldn't have.
Did you have one?
No, never. Actually, no.
I'm telling Jenny.
No, you can tell her. I admitted to it. So when Tinder first came out, I was in Vegas at South by Southwest V2V. It was an event they did for a short period of time in Vegas. And myself, Brandon Chestnut, and Henry Ballanon were out there sitting at the bar. I vividly remember this. And we set up Tinder profiles. We're like, what is this new Tinder thing? And
you were swiping.
Oh yeah, all day. It was so much fun. And I did. I called my wife and I was like, hey, just a heads. I think we were dating at the time. Maybe we were married. I was like, just a heads up. I set up a Tinder profile. I want you to know this. So like, if like a friend calls you.
What'd you say?
I was like, I'm just experimenting. I'm just.
What'd you say?
She's like, okay.
Yeah, Jenny's the best.
World's best wife.
She is.
Well, but like, the intent wasn't to get out there and find somebody in Vegas. The intent was to understand the app.
Yeah.
We're at a tech conference,
sure.
But so yes.
Understand the app.
I did have a Tinder profile for a brief period of time. But, that was when they first came out. So they didn't have the subscription part of it, but it's a big part of these businesses nowadays, so we covered a lot of ground here today. I think, what we discovered is that you will still pay $15,000 for the blue check.
No, I won't. Not anymore.
No, but
I never did. I never wanted to.
But it's interesting. So there is room there for the, I think the next level of that would be fun to see.
Yeah, like a gold.
Yeah. These guys are just starting to scratch the surface, right? And they all chase each other. Like Be Real comes out, TikTok integrates the feature. Facebook
Did Be Real stay around?
I was reading something on the other day that it's wearing off on people.
That was Gary V's project.
Bradley, you ever get into Be Real? No, it wasn't Gary V's thing. He was pumping it for a minute.
I don't actually even know what that is.
Okay, so then Be Real's not a thing.
Everybody I talked to really doesn't like it.
I tried it for a hot minute. I like trying the things to see what they're like. It's one of those, like, you have 15 minutes to post what you're doing that day. So the intent is it's like less orchestrated social posts, more of like life. The problem, like the feedback is like people are like, I can only take so many pictures of me sitting at my desk working because it's random times throughout the day. So you could, you're between 8 and 5 sitting at your desk.
I think it'd be funny if like you're on the toilet. And
well, you have 15 minutes to quickly get out of there.
That's the point of that.
Yeah, no, it is the point of it. Like
the weird moments.
Yeah. I mean, so,
like right now, like, oh, hey.
Yeah, doing a podcast. So, that's what, these guys all chase each other. I think it's seeing what sticks and what doesn't. And so, I mean, so far, Twitter Blue seems to be doing okay. And I think there will be iterations and evolutions of this, but we're determined to get the Facebook team to come in and talk about this at SubSummit.
What are some updates? Who are some new attendees coming this year?
Yeah, so we, I think we mentioned Hinge coming. Porsche will be there. We've got some great conversations happening. We just started talking about Neil Hoyne and Nancy Harhut from Google and Nancy from HBT Marketing. What's fun about that? On day one, they both talk about just different types of marketing, data-driven, decision-based. I'm super excited for that talk. Wade from Netflix is going to be talking. He's a VP of inclusion over there and is going to be talking about just some great ways to look at your community and helping bring great diversity to your team, great diversity to the way you look at driving your message across your brand and different things along those lines. And so we were able to secure him this week and get locked in. Just the range of topics, but the quality of people that are going to be in the room is just awesome.
Different level. Yeah.
It's just awesome.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So we're super excited. And that's the best part about it. You don't get that. You only get that with those in-person interactions, you know, of being there and having those conversations. And, you know, we always say, like, if you buy a ticket and you're not happy, we'll write you a check back. We're always convinced you're going to have a great time. So we'll keep working at it. And next podcast, we'll have some more updates because we have a bunch of other fun conversations happening.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, this will wrap up episode 11. Thanks everybody for joining. Remember, if you follow us and like the podcast, the best thing you can do, the most appreciated thing you can do is share it with a friend.
Yeah.
Tell them about it. Somebody that you know that you think would be a great person that wants to learn and grow in the subscription space. That is something that would be really meaningful to us. So I really appreciate any opportunity to do that. And then, of course, smashing the like button and leaving comments and telling the world how much you love my baby blue glasses. It's appreciated. Until next time, we'll see you in the comments.
See you guys.